And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. America's progress report on credit card debt is in, and the numbers aren't good. They're horrible. My next guest shares his thoughts on the problem. Our financial expert, Ed Gardner, is here. Ed, Americans have $1.13 trillion, $1.13 trillion in credit card debt, a record number. We're in big trouble as a nation, right?
We are. It's growing a lot. In fact, it was only about 660 billion just 10 years ago. In fact, last quarter it increased quite a bit. And a lot of people, part of it dealt with the pandemic, Isaiah, to where they got used to buying things, online. Of course, prices are higher because of inflation, interest rates are higher. But a lot of people, they're just out of control in their spending. They don't keep a record of what they are. And we have a lot of people in their 30s where they're kind of the biggest increase in the highest amount. In fact, today, about the average person owing on a credit card is $6,000.
Wow.
If you had someone that owed, let's say, $5,000 and they paid the minimum of about $35 a month, and, interest rates are with higher rates now around 21% on several credit cards, it's going to take them about 16 years to pay that credit card debt off of what they already have on the card. And that's going to add around another $7,000 of interest on top of the money that they owe. So
Incredible.
people need to change. People need to have a reality check in how they're spending money. A couple tips that they can do is, one, why not call to your credit card company and see if they can lower the interest rates? Because if the interest rates are so high, just paying the minimum balances, you may not be paying enough to even pay off the principal every month, the way that interest rates are now. There's transfers to where you might be able to transfer to like a small moratorium on interest, but you want to check your fees when you transfer. And of course, if somebody can't do stuff by themselves, they need to look at maybe some of the nonprofit credit counseling companies. But a big thing is keep a record of what you spend. Personally, if you're going to charge this month, why not every time you charge kind of keep a running balance of what you're adding every month?
Mm-hmm.
And, a lot of people need to pay off their credit cards every month, but they keep these balances. So there's a couple methods. One's called a snowball, where, Isaiah, you take the lowest balance. It doesn't matter what the interest rate is, and you pay that off first. And, with someone reducing their weight, the first couple pounds, they feel like they're getting somewhere. Well, if you pay off that small balance, you feel like you're tackling your credit debt and help improving it. But then take that money that you save that month and add it to the next lowest balance, on a credit card. And then, of course, there's an avalanche where you attack the highest interest rates first,
Mm-hmm.
and you pay extra money on those. But it's time for people to take a check on what they have on their credit cards. Maybe you should sit down and see what your balances are, see what your interest rates are, and then make some calls to see if possibly, if nothing else, with your current credit card company, you can get those rates lowered. And of course,
a lot of people are just kicking the can down the road, hoping for the best, hoping for a better economy, but still that won't address the problem. And Ed, also, in addition to the credit card debt, we have to take into consideration all of these pay-as-you-go, or like the Klarnas and all of those that people are in debt with as well, right?
Right. And then, of course, with the higher interest rates and the problems that we've had, there are people that got into vehicles during the pandemic when we had the chip shortage, and those prices got jacked up. And unfortunately, Isaiah, some of those cars, aren't worth as much as what they still owe on the loan.
And what can you do about that, though, Ed? Can you refinance, or are you just stuck?
Well, you could try and refinance, but you're probably going to be stuck. And my personal rule of thumb is, if you're going to get a car loan, try not to have more than 42 months to pay it off. Because I have found on loans for people more than 42 months, like someone gets a 5-year, 60, that they're upside down. And what I mean, Isaiah, is that if they go to sell the car, they're going to end up owing more than what the value of the car is and what they get for that car.
Got it. Ed Gardner, not so much great news today from you. You left me kind of depressed, but it's the state of the economy. And of course, if we follow your directions, your instructions. Maybe we can, see our way through this. We appreciate your time here on The Factor Uncensored tonight, and always good to see you. Next time, bring better news, Ed.